What's good, what's good, what's good? It's your boy Micah back at it again with another video. And today we're going to talk about self-care as a necromancer. Because there is such a time as to where you tend to get somewhat overwhelmed with the death essence and just with life in general. The death essence has a way of really like breaking you down in order to rebuild you. And so there is that kind of like death and rebirth or death and resurrection phoenix aspect to the craft, to necromantic craft. However, as necromancers, we have to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually, and magically in order to not end up as most traditional old school necromancers, i.e. withered out, dried out, etc. I think I stated this before, that it is very possible to look hot as fucking balls doing necromancy. And again, that relies on your affinity and how attuned you are to that, how deep you go into your practice, how you process the death essence, that kind of thing. But as far as self-care is concerned, the first thing is taking spiritual baths on a regular basis. Now, when you start feeling yourself being drained through too much death essence or death essence overexposure, your basic spiritual bath, like there are many out there, you can probably go on Google and look up any hoodoo or voodoo type baths. But the way I do it in order to retain my connection to death essence while still getting the benefits is simply you can add lavender, salt, and wormwood. The reason I say those three ingredients is because lavender and salt, they'll be cleansing, they'll also be regenerating, they'll boost your vitality, all that good shit. And then wormwood will let you retain your death essence and necromantic connection. That way it's kind of like a clean death, so to speak. Very similar to a mortician preparing to embalm a body, that kind of thing. You know, they fucking cleanse the body and all the other good shit. Pretty much the same concept here. After you do your spiritual bath, give yourself an incense bath. Dragon's blood is very good. It's like an all-purpose incense for the dark arts. Specific blends would include tobacco and dragon's blood sage. This will cleanse you of any parasites you might have picked up from your work in the graveyards. It will cleanse you of any shit cast against you. It will get away the residual of the death essence that might be stuck to you. It might be stuck to your chakras, subtle bodies, all that good stuff. Also, when you give yourself your incense bath, you need to visualize the smoke going deeper than just the flesh. It goes into your soul and it goes into your spirit and suffuses you. And I mean just that word, suffuses you with the energy and power you need in order to continue on. It will restore you physically, mentally, spiritually, all that good shit. After you do that, that's when you begin your energy work and your chakra meditations to cleanse out any blockages, parasites, to clear your sushumna that goes up your spine, that connects your chakras all the way to your crown. And you can expand this with like Qigong or Tai Chi to really cleanse your Qi itself and your Dantians of death essence overexposure. I recommend you have incense going while you do this so you can kind of regenerate and rest while you work, so to speak, while you work on yourself and your energy body. As you do this, simply relax. Let go mentally, focus on your work. And when you come out of it, you'll be feeling a shit ton better than normal. Like so much fucking better, yo. Your vitality will be back. You'll have more power and more stamina to continue your work and to really manipulate the death essence as you so please. Also, drinks, whether it's homemade elixirs that you make or whether it's simply drinks that you get from the store, you need hydration. Because death essence has a way of dehydrating the physical body without it being so apparent. When you do this, enchant your elixirs to regenerate you, to extend your lifespan, to bolster your health, your vitality, your strength, your sexual energy as well. Why do I say sexual energy? Because that plays a very big part in your necromantic practice. Sexual energy is not just purely sexual. It's not just purely carnal. It is an aspect of your vitality and health and your bodily function, as well as the psychological function of your mind. That way you can perceive things correctly. You're not suffering from an altered reality or a twisted sense of perception. You feel me? Another thing you can do is shadow work. Shadow work is very important when you're doing necromancy. The reason is because when you look into your shadow, and I'm not talking about the fucking psychological construct that C.G. Jung created, I'm talking about your actual shadow that is an entity in and of its own self. It's not a thought form, it's not an egregore, it's not something created by your subconscious mind. It is your connection to the darkness and all that the darkness includes. The darkness is not just simply destruction and fucking carnage and all that other kind of stuff. It's also regeneration and rest and growth. A baby is formed in the darkness of the womb. You feel me? So there you go. When you do this, look into your shadow, clear out any blockages, any curses somebody might have sent you that are harboring there, because people know how to do shadow magic around here. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta be aware. Clear that shit out. And as you do, simply rest in the darkness. It helps to visualize yourself just encased entirely in restful darkness. And you can also do this while you sleep, and you'll wake up feeling regenerated and a lot better. It will also help your dream walking and oniric magics, whether it's divination, psychic dream walking, nightmare magic, that kind of thing. I also recommend anointing the place where you sleep, whether it's outside, whether it's wherever, with oniric oils. You can create this using mugwort, ayahuasca, and let's see what else. Mugwort, ayahuasca. I want to say datura, but that's more for the ayahuasca end. But basically, you can find these herbs, create the oil, and it'll enhance the return and gains you get from your sleep. That way, not only your physical body rests, but your mind and soul and spirit rest as well. The reason I'm saying all of this is because most necromancers forget that just because we're working with death does not mean we are necessarily invincible yet. There will come a point where we become invincible due to all the work we put in with death essence. But until then, you have to counterbalance in order to increase your power. That's the principle here. Now, death essence and life has a way of breaking people down. Due to the work you do, due to the necromancy, the kind of dead that you fuck with, and whatever your tradition is, other people are going to be affected. That's just the fact of the matter. And the death essence often exposes people for what they really are, and it makes them behave in their true self. And sometimes that true self can be very fucked up and disappointing. All of a sudden you see people become narcissistic, when in reality they were always narcissistic. They just hid it behind a mask of ego. You find people, you know what I'm saying, doing you dirty and shit, kicking you out, and all that other kind of stuff. So these practices, along with devotion to your spirits, giving daily offerings to your spirits and whatever, will take you a long way when you're dealing with society, when you're dealing with other people here. This is kind of going back into the magical sociology thing. For my own situation, I was kicked out for about a period of 2 months due to motherfuckers' family doing me dirty and shit, right? So I use these very same practices while I was out, while I was down and out. I kept giving my offerings on the daily, and I was able to survive over a month and a half on my own, making money, surviving and looking much better than I was when I was at my family's house. So this shit goes a very fucking long way. Whatever your situation is, especially for those practitioners and necromancers who may be homeless or whatever, keep up your fucking ritual work. Like I am telling you, bro, and sis, or whatever the fuck you identify as, an Apache helicopter. Whatever the fuck you identify as, keep up your ritual work. Keep giving offerings to your spirits. That shit shows devotion and faithfulness on a scale that is very rarely seen. And I say that because most people fuck with the occult just for the fame. You know how you hear rappers talking about, oh, she only fucking with me for the fame? Well, it's it's the same perspective from the spirits concerning a lot of people on this planet when they fuck with the occult and the magic. They're not really in it for the long haul. And so these tests in your craft are going to come to really test you to see how much you sticking with this shit, you know? Are you with this shit like motherfucking heavy duty super glue, or are you a fucking flake, you know? Now, as you go through whatever situation, and I'm specifically speaking to those who are practitioners and who are homeless right now. Somebody did you dirty, some shit went wrong, whatever. You're in the situation and you're working on your way out of it. Use what I just told you about the self-care, spiritual baths, cleansing, giving your offerings to your spirits, etc. And also, money magic. There is a way to use necromancy to gain wealth. There are dead that are out there in whatever tradition you fuck with that can bring money and wealth to you. If I'm not mistaken, in the hoodoo tradition, there's a motherfucking Saint Expedite who can fucking bring you money and bring it to you quickly to ensure survival. Get on top of your wealth, get on top of your devotion and your sacrifices, and keep up your energy, because the way you get out of it is not always the way you think you're going to get out of it. I'm going to say that again. The way you get out of your situation is not always the way you think you're going to get out of your situation. The universe in any situation or aspect of life responds to the correct energy. If you keep your vibration high enough and you keep your energy high enough, you can focus during your rituals and attract what it is that you desire. Also, a very good entity to call upon is Santissimo Muerte, or Le Señor, or Señor Le Muerto, if you work with the Cainite current, 218 current. That got me through that very challenging time very well. As far as that is concerned, protection is very essential, because you're out in the streets. Wherever you are, you're in a dangerous part of town. You might not be in a dangerous part of town, but you always need protection, because you never know what the hell is around the corner. You feel me? Now, when you get yourself situated, the most natural and smart thing to do is to continue doing what you were doing when you were in your homeless situation, or whatever situation you might be in. That way you keep up the flow of prosperity. You keep that connection with your spirits, your gods, your deities, with the death current, all that good shit. Also, you have to be prepared to have motherfuckers try to kick you when you're down, so to speak. When you have a lot of enemies, as there are a lot of legit practitioners out there and other people who feel like for whatever reason that particular practitioner shouldn't have whatever the fuck they have or whatever, they're going to try to capitalize on the opportunity when they discover it. Therefore, you need to stay sharp spiritually. This is why I say keep up your meditations. Keep up all that good shit. That way you're not caught lacking, and you don't get some shit cast on you that could bring about your end. You feel me? Now, sometimes in necromancy and in the occult in general, you have to take a break. You have to take a break to regroup your mind, body, and spirit in order to do what you need to do, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with taking a break. However, most people, most YouTube spiritualists, by take a break, they mean permanently stop what they're doing. And that is not the solution, especially when you're going through a homeless situation or whatever situation where people have done you dirty, and the only thing you can rely on is your craft and the spirits. It can go one of two ways. You stop what you're doing permanently, you just might make it out of the situation, but you're going to have an issue with connecting back to the current at a later end, because you stop. You stop that growth, you stop that fucking current of power that was taking you through, etc. Or you can keep going and ride that current into your new reality where you're more prosperous, more healthy, all the other kind of stuff. And people could be like, well, you know, I've tried this, that, and the other, and I just had to accept the fact that I'll never heal this ailment, or I'll never manifest this amount of money, etc. What I have to say to that is bullshit. I have struggled with money magic for most of my magical life, from childhood up till now. But because I kept going and I had people to help me and give me understanding, and the spirits helped me and give me understanding, and I chose by my will not to give up, shit is kicking in. I'm prosperous, shit is working, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting to where I need to be. It's the same thing with you in whatever situation you might find yourself challenged in, whether it's health-wise. Let's say you struggle with fibromyalgia. You can fucking heal that shit. You're a black magician, or whether you're a light worker. Point is, you have the fucking power to heal that shit. If you put your will into it, and you find the correct magics necessary, even if you whip up together some shit that don't even make sense, and it still worked, the point is it still worked, and it fucking got you healed. You feel me? So you have to persevere. You have to have that magical stamina in order to get through your fucking situation. Because there's a lot that rides on us legit practitioners here. There is a lot of knowledge that can be delivered to the masses. There's a lot of power to gain for your own personal evolution when you go through these kind of things. And for the sake of the death current that has remained pure all the way up until now, you got to keep going. You made pacts with your spirits. You made covenants with your spirits. You made pacts with the death gods or whatever deities you work with in your fucking tradition. You are obliged to uphold that end of the deal by sheer fact and motion of you continuing and choosing to persevere through your situation. Because the spirits will uphold their deal. It's just humans that are iffy sometimes. So, the main principle of self-care is choosing not to give up. Choosing not to give up on your own self or on your sorcery. No matter how many enemies you have, no matter how many people laugh at you and don't fucking believe you can do X, Y, Z, no matter how many people fucking say, oh, you're fake, you're a fraud, you know, your curses haven't done this, fuck all that shit. That's fuck all that shit. That shit does not matter at all. Because when you come out your situation, that right there is the living proof of your sorcery, of your magic, of how, quote, legit you really are. You feel me? And when you pass that test, shit will start manifesting. Curses will start manifesting on your enemies. Wealth and prosperity will start manifesting to you. And you will come out a stronger person, a stronger individual. Now, to prevent this from sounding like a Tony Robbins seminar, when I say a stronger person, you have an inner strength that truly allows you to work with the death essence, that truly allows you to work with the dead, that truly allows you to stand on your own as an autonomous spiritual individual that has knowledge and mastery over life and death. That's the ultimate benefit of this, you feel me? Now, to finish up this thing about self-care, you gave yourself spiritual baths, you gave yourself incense baths, you rested, you meditated, you did all this other kind of stuff, and you're feeling like you're ready to get back into the death current. You feel like you're ready to get back into the graveyard. What I suggest to carry you through as you finish recuperating, because time waits for no man, right? What I suggest is have elixirs on hand that can give you strength, whether it's homemade or otherwise. Have different drinks that you can use to provide yourself energy to carry through with your work. And regularly, until you are fully healed and recovered, regularly do magic for vitality, for strength, for endurance, stamina, exercise, that kind of thing. Take care of yourself mentally. Constantly expand your mind. Constantly expand your mental capacity, constantly expand your spiritual capacity, that kind of thing. Keep yourself in shape on all levels. That way you're able to confront any and all challenges that come against you. If you happen to have a disease of any kind, diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever the fuck you have, learn to manipulate that shit. You can do that shit through psionics, fucking psychometabolic augmentation. You can learn to control the flow of your blood. you can learn to control the life essence that flows through your body and mind and spirit. And once you have that under control, you master yourself, therefore you can master the world outside of you. So with that being said, I'm going to conclude this video. Hopefully, it gave you guys some good info. If you have any questions, hit me up, email me, leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe. And until next time, peace.